Tonight, FBI agents who say they fear for their safety and privacy are fighting back against the Trump administration. 2 new lawsuits filed, including a class action representing at least 6,000 FBI employees.
The largest criminal investigation in FBI history has given way to potentially its largest crisis.
Do you think this is a distraction?
Absolutely. Personally, I've lost sleep over this.
This agent who helped arrest January 6th rioters fears retaliation from new leadership of the Justice Department for speaking with CBS News.
We just have a lot of unknowns, and it feels like no one has our backs.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Donald Trump isn't just talking about firing a few FBI agents. He's launching a full-scale political purge of law enforcement. And guess what? The FBI isn't taking it lying down.
Anonymous FBI personnel, identified only as John Does, suing the Department of Justice to halt steps toward the mass unlawful termination of Bureau employees and what they claim is unlawful retaliation for doing their jobs to investigate the January 6th cases.
Agents who testified or signed their names to public court documents worry of retaliation from riot defendants.
Your followers, any messages to them?
Keep the fight, 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 fight.
Or their sympathizers.
It almost as if these defendants that were all pardoned have been put on a pedestal of being more patriotic and more loyal to this country than the men and women who go out every single day away from their families and put their lives on the line.
What do you make of that?
I really am at a loss for words. It hurts. We'll say that. It hurts.
6,000 agents are suing the Department of Justice in a massive class action lawsuit to block Trump's mass firings. Think about that. Career federal agents, people who have spent decades upholding the law, now forced to take legal action just to keep their jobs. Why? Because they investigated domestic terrorists who stormed the Capitol in Donald Trump's name.
Colleague Ken Delanian reports that a message has been circulating in FBI circles from an FBI agent. It is believed to reflect the feelings of many inside that organization. We'll read that message to you. I was assigned to investigate a potential crime. Like all previous cases I have investigated, this one met every legal standard of predication and procedure. I'm now sitting in my home listening to my children play and laugh in the backyard, oblivious to the prospect that their father may be fired in a few days. Fired for conducting a legally authorized investigation. Fired for doing the job that he was hired to do. I have to wonder, when I'm gone, who will do the quiet work that is behind the facade of your average neighbor.
And don't think for a second that this is just about jobs. This is about targets on their backs. These agents aren't just worried about getting fired. They're worried about retaliation, being doxxed, and physical threats. And why wouldn't they be? Donald Trump's convicted insurrectionist buddies are demanding that their names be released so they can pay for their so-called crimes. Pay for what? Doing their jobs? Investigating a violent attack on democracy? That's where we are now, where law enforcement is treated like the enemy because they didn't bow down to dear leader Donald Trump. And here's the kicker. This is just step one. This was always the plan. Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for dismantling the government, lays it all out. Purge the FBI, gut the Department of Justice, wipe out any agency that could possibly hold Donald Trump accountable. You think this stops with the FBI? Think again. They're coming for prosecutors, judges, military leaders, anyone who dares to uphold the law instead of worshiping Trump. They want the justice system under their control. So when Donald Trump breaks the law again, nobody will be left to do a damn thing about it.
FBI has turned over a list to the Justice Department of the FBI agents who worked on the January 6 rioters cases. Are you planning to fire the FBI agents who worked on those investigations?
No, but I'll fire some of them because some of them were corrupt. I have no doubt about that. I got to know a lot about that business, that world. I got to know a lot about that world, and we had some corrupt agents, and those people are gone, or they will be gone. And it'll be done quickly and very surgically.
If Donald Trump gets away with this, then what? What happens when law enforcement only answers to him? When investigations into his criminal empire are wiped out? When the only people left in government are Trump loyalists? I'll tell you what happens. we stop being a democracy. The rule of law gets thrown out of the window. America becomes just another country where the strong man makes the rules and everyone else either falls in line or disappears. This lawsuit isn't just about FBI agents keeping their jobs. It's about whether this country has any law and order left that isn't dictated by Donald J. Trump. Trump isn't even trying to hide it. He's straight up admitted in a press conference that he's purging the FBI, saying that he's firing agents surgically because some of them were corrupt. Corrupt? According to who? The guy who spent his entire presidency breaking the law and getting away with it? The guy who tried to shake down a foreign leader for dirt on his opponent? The guy whose company was convicted for fraud? The man who literally said that he wants his people to snap to attention like they do for Kim Jong-un. Yeah, forgive me if I don't take Donald Trump's word on what's corrupt. And here's the reality. This isn't some future plan. It's happening right now. Trump and his allies are already pressuring the FBI to turn over names of agents who investigated January the 6th. These are career law enforcement officials, people who have spent their entire lives upholding the law, and now they're being targeted because they had the audacity to investigate domestic terrorists. This is an active constitutional crisis. This isn't just about cleaning house at the FBI. This is about making sure nobody ever investigates Donald Trump's crimes again. The purge isn't stopping with the FBI. This is about wiping out every check on Donald Trump's power. Prosecutors, judges, intelligence officials, even the military. They don't want law enforcement. They want enforcers. They want people who will punish their enemies. Look the other way whenever their allies, do what they do and let MAGA extremists run wild. And let's talk about what this does to national security. Frank Figliuzzi, a former FBI counterintelligence official, warned that firing thousands of agents weakens America's ability to stop terrorism. And that's the point, isn't it? Because when you erase the people investigating domestic extremism thrives. Trump's MAGA militias, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, are already being rewarded with pardons, while the agents who arrested them are being erased from law enforcement. Every single Republican in power is watching the destruction of the justice system, the gutting of national security, the takeover of government agencies by billionaires, and not saying a damn thing. They're encouraging it. And what's their excuse? That this is what the American people wanted? Yeah. That this is a mandate? Let's get one thing straight. More people didn't vote than voted for Donald Trump. This isn't a movement. This isn't the will of the people. This is apathy. This is a broken system. This is a bunch of angry, misinformed, conspiracy-addled voters who fell for the biggest scam in history. And they're laughing while this country is on fire. The reality is, Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about them or you or anyone but himself. If you think you're safe because you supported him, guess again. He'll turn on anybody the second they stop being useful. Look at his inner circle. Look at the people who used to praise him. Where are they now? Indicted, fired, exiled, and once his cult has served its purpose, they'll be discarded too. This is where we are, a constitutional crisis unfolding in real time. Trump is setting up an unaccountable government where the only justice is what he decides. The FBI, hollowed out. The courts, hand-picked judges who owe him everything. The military, slowly being purged of anyone who won't fall in line. So what do? Do we sit back and let another dictator rise? Because if we don't raise hell now, we may not get another chance. This is it. All hands on deck. If they get what they want, there won't be anyone left to stop them. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.